So the summer season has started. It's off to a slow start. That's not unexpected. But the quality of the shows is okay, I suppose. We're looking at 4 more today. Nowhere near as good as the summer shows last time, but we'll see how they go. And I'm going to look at them again today with you guys, because as ever, this is a 2018 summer anime preview from a different perspective. So, Isekai series. We get a lot of those these days, don't we? And this is definitely another one. And it's got a long series to boot as well. How not to summon a demon lord. It's had a lot of advertising, so I suppose I should really give it a go. And so I did. And it's the same as all the other shows. It's got a few good points, I suppose. I'll get to those in a moment, though. Welcome to a world of cross reverie, where our hero, Takuma Sakamoto, is a demon lord. 1 second. I think I've heard this one before. I've not seen all of it, and I'm going to get killed saying this, but I do want to watch more of it though. It sounds like Overlord. It really does sound like Overlord straight away. Because Takuma Sakamoto plays a demon lord, Diablo. He's the most powerful character in the game. He just fights the bad guys who come and fight him just because they're in love with each other. Yep, he's a shot-in as well as being a demon lord. Until one day, he is ceremoniously summoned to another world. So he is now Diablo, the Demon Lord. He's been summoned in a slave summoning. Seriously, this game you summon your elemental spirits or your demons or your salamanders or whatever you want to summon. You put a collar on them and they become your pet. Well, he was just summoned by 2 beautiful girls. He was summoned by Rem Gallo, who can only be described as a tsundere cat, and Sarah L. Greenwood, who can only be described as Boing. She doesn't really have a personality. She has 2 major assets about her character, and the anime is only really focusing on her 2 major assets. I think she's an elf, but she's actually just a pair of breasts. Diablo is summoned by the booby elf and the tsundere cat, and because he's a cheat and uses a reflecting ring, they become his slaves. And now I see why this book is so popular. It's wish fulfillment to the extreme. And I'm going to give it props. I've written into a character a way of making him super powerful straight away. I normally have to build up to these things to make these characters really, really powerful. But this guy is already the most powerful character in the game. And so they don't need to make him more powerful. Of course they will though, because he's a main character in a light novel Isekai series. But now he's a main character in an Isekai series with 2 beautiful slave brides, one with giant tits. But let's be honest, it's the other one which we're most interested in, the tsundere cat, who has actually got a demon king in her, or demon queen, or some kind of demon anyway. She's the one we're mostly interested in. The breasts are just the breasts. The cat girl is a plot, the booby elf has the plot. But if the cat girl is a plot, then where the fuck was it? I watched this episode, and I didn't see any plot. It may have been bouncing in front of my eyes and I didn't see it. Probably even more bouncy with red handshakers, and you'll remember that gift, don't you? All in all, How to Summon Demon Lord is, it has the makings of a reasonable story. I like the concept of it, but the execution of that plot leaves me lacking. So I'm going to give it a few more episodes. I kind of get hypnotised by the plot, but I'm not holding out much hope. I can't really rate it anything else other than a void, to be honest. So try at your own risk, else you may too be hypnotised by the plot. You know what? You can really tell that Japan's really getting into the world of MMOs recently. I think every single season we seem to have about 3 or 4 different shows based on MMOs, or based on fictional MMOs anyway. Most of them end up being Isekai series, just using MMOs as an excuse. Now 7 Senses of a Reunion, on the other hand, doesn't appear to be that at all. It's very clearly set in an MMO, but it's an MMO where characters are playing in, and it has a sort of a feel of Sword Art Online on it, because if your character dies in the game, your character dies in the game. No respawns. You don't die in real life, you just die in the game. And so, welcome to a world of Union. Not Reunion, we'll get to that later. But welcome to a world of Union and a party called Subaru for some reason. I've no idea why it's called Subaru, there's probably some kind of name thing going on there. Because let's face it, this is a party made up by grade school kids. Really, really young kids, which act like they're 20. They really do not act like little kids at all. We got our main character, Haruto, who's a fighter. We got Asahi, who really likes Haruto, it seems, and she can see him in the future. Why she can see him in the future, I have no idea, but she can. We got the mage, Satsuki, very much a Tsundere type character, also likes Haruto. We got Takanori, I actually forget what he does actually, but does he also like Haruto? To be fair, he probably likes one of the girls actually, probably jealous. Clive is a rogue, and we got Nozomi, who is a summoner. But yeah, we got our party of 6 main characters. And we're the undefeated party, the best party in the entire game. They can defeat anything, and nothing ever goes wrong. Which is a good thing as well, because if any of them die, they lose a character, which is not great at all. But at least, if you die in the game, you don't die in real life. And so in fighting this one bad guy, and as he dies, it's a really bad thing, because you can't play him anymore. And then she dies in real life. Where are we? Sword Art Online? Is this reunion game Aincrad? Can't be. There's no heroines getting raped yet. Haruto quits. Turns into a shut-in, he hates everything, and yeah, he doesn't play these games anymore. The rest of his team shun him, abandon him, and don't care for him anymore, and he's a loner. And so it should be no surprise when he's invited into his brand new game, only playable by those who've played Union, called Reunion. He's not too thrilled at the prospect, but his 2 friends managed to hold him into going into it. 2 friends who aren't that great characters really, they aren't really that important, and they can hold him into logging into his game. Now the game itself is a bit strange anyway, because apparently if you're really good at a game, you might become an executive at some company. Why they do that whatsoever, no idea. But it seems to rely on something called senses. Is this some kind of superpower that only certain people have in this game as a way of telling what these super senses are? I suppose it uses a VR headset, so that makes perfect sense. And so he goes out fighting. Seeing these 2 losers are terrible and he's only a beginner, he completely educates them in the way of a game. He says, okay, I'm a fighter, I'm going to go up front and I'm going to fight these things. And then this game suddenly changes. The cave they're exploring, the beginner dungeon, suddenly becomes this brick thing, no enemies at all, and just a chest at the end of a room. And he opens the chest and he finds the dead girl. Well, a character anyway, we find Asahi. And suddenly I'm thinking, is this Sword Art Online meets .hack? What the hell's going on here? This is not the MMO type game I was thinking it was going to be. I was expecting a very traditional Death March of a Parallel World Rhapsody type trash, but in reality I've got something intriguing. Now I'm not going to say it's good, it's got way too much worries about it, but it's got a lot of potential, I've got to give it that props. It sort of had bits of it which didn't really make sense, and why on earth we're talking about some random people at the beginning of the game, because those people got no impact whatsoever in the story, but it meanders a bit, it gets a storyline, and the storyline has promise. Now, if you want to watch this one, it's actually airing over on Amazon at the moment. It's definitely an anime season of pairs. We have a pair of net-based sports anime. We had a fantastic pair early with How Not to Summon a Demon Lord and its other MMO anime. And now we've got the second for Joshi Show. Well, this one's less as bad than the other one, to be honest. This is 100 Sleeping Princess from the Kingdom of Dreams. Sounds like a book from a Cardcaptor Sakura episode, to be honest, but that's the name of the anime. And quite blatantly, it's also a mobile game as well. Having a Nova for a furry butler thing, the character called Navi. Blatantly a navigator type character, blatantly a cute mascot character to have a game, and of course is a butler because, yeah, this is aimed at women, most definitely. Of course, the main character, a princess, doesn't actually have a name. She's just a random insert character where you can put your own face there. And once you know it, she's an office lady as well, which means, yeah, office ladies want to play these games, you too can be transported to another world where you get the princess of your dreams. Oh, that's a fairy anyway. Well, anyway, we quickly get onto the first summoning, where you get the first summoning for free, then you gotta pay loads and loads of money for the future summonings after that one. And she summons, wouldn't you know it, the poster boy for the entire show. Avi is not on our video format. He's actually a red-headed sword bloke. He wields a ginormous, it's actually sort of like about the same width as Cloud Sword, but nowhere near as long. It's just a stubby, thick sword. And so, the princess summons the prince from a ring, would you know it. They go wandering across the wilderness trying to find somewhere to stop for the night, and because she's a princess, she hurts herself. And they end up having to get carried by a prince. When we run into another pretty boy, who is by no means a prince, is a swindler, trying to sell stolen goods, and getting chased off for it as well. And of course the princess and prince get involved, and of course he turns out to have a ring himself and turns out to be another prince, although this time he's got amnesia, and actually said it right this time and didn't call it insomnia. And so they end up having to fight some dream eaters, having to go about with doing random stuff we're normally doing this type of series, and yeah, it's just summoning princes, fighting dream eaters, selling Nana and wearing red and white stockings like Mary, but what can you do? And that's it. Apparently this princess with no name is going to be saving the entire kingdom by summoning more and more princes. I personally think it'll lead to overcrowding. I mean, there's 100 of them crying out loud. At least there's only 100 princes rather than 1,000 guns. 10 guns per prince, maybe? I can see with Fujoshi already drawing with fan art right now. 10 guns per prince. And this being a series, they need to have bad guys as well. And the bad guys this time are what looks like evil princes. We don't know anything about them, other than the fact they're clearly evil. Not sure whether or not to rate this one as avoid or maybe. I'll go maybe for now, since it is not terrible. I've seen a hell of a lot worse shows like this one. I mean, I've already seen one terrible show last time. So yeah, if you are interested in this type of show, give it a watch. It might be worth watching, but probably not for me. It is airing over on High Dive. So, banana fish. Da da na na na. Banana fish. Da 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 da. No, that's completely different. I don't really know why I started singing banana fish like that, but that is just such a nonsensical title for a show that I don't really know what to do with it, to be honest. One thing which banana fish isn't is it's not any kind of joke. And from what I'm reading about it now, it's actually based on a manga from the 80s, which is quite a few while ago, actually. I mean, I'm a product of the 80s, and look at me here. I'm sitting here just reading stuff about anime to you right now. But yeah, banana fish. It's about gangs in New York. To be honest, I watched the first episode, and I don't really know what it's about. One thing I do know is, even though it's written in the 80s, this anime version has only just been written now. It's been heavily updated for a modern age. At one point, we even referred to CSI New York, which took me out of the show a little bit, which confused me a bit, but yeah. What is the story of our main two guys? You got Ash, the leader of a gang, and we got Eiji, a Japanese kid who travels over to America to meet him. Don't know exactly what's going on here yet, but they seem to get involved in whatever's going on with this banana fish thing, and yeah. Well, the main issue at the moment is that Ash is looking after some guy who got really messed up in the war. Now, original, it was Vietnam, because Vietnam. But these days it's been updated, and quite a political statement right now. He's been messed up due to the Iraq war. Yep, this show has really been brought up on modern age. But it still has that real old 80s, 90s vibe to it. It feels like a show which should have been made 20 years ago. And to be honest, from what I'm seeing, it probably should have been made 20 years ago, because it's of its age. It's a pretty decent show. Now, it's not for me. I'm not exactly one for the gritty crime drama. I don't watch CSI. Not that that's really gritty crime drama. But I don't watch any of those police shows anymore. I used to like them as a kid, but not anymore. And I can see what's being quite popular. If it wasn't on Amazon, it would be probably one of the top shows of this season, actually. But it's on Amazon, so nobody's actually going to watch the damn thing. But needless to say, Banana Fish is a decent show. I'd recommend giving it a try if you want to. Now, I did again getting lost halfway through the episode, but again, that's probably because it's just not my type of thing, and I wasn't able to keep track of what was going on all the time. Although it's gangs of New York fighting over some drug named after a banana fish. Well, these shows weren't as good as the last lot, were they? I mean, last time I gave out a couple of greens, and this time, not a green in sight. But it's not all bad. There's some hope in the end of the tunnel. And we've got some good shows airing this weekend, so hopefully we'll get some more. So join me then. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.